How'd you feel about the execution the last 5 minutes?
Decent, I think. We got better in that. After the first part of the fourth quarter, we settled in a little bit. I mean, they got guys that can create shots. The execution on fouling up three was good. I think we did what we wanted to there. Take it back to the Portland game or other games where we tried to do it and couldn't execute it different times on the clock. But I think that execution was decent. And then, we like to get to the specific guys for the foul shots, and we couldn't quite get it to Fred sometime. But other guys stepped up and made them. And obviously, we missed a few as well, though.
How did Jabari's rebounding, especially later in the game, impact you guys?
Yeah, it was big. I think that was one of the emphasis at halftime. I think they had eight offensive rebounds after the first quarter, 11 at halftime. They finished the game with 19, so we got a little bit better in the second half. But those guys, a few guys were standing around watching, and we wanted them to get involved and get inside. And I think he used his length and athleticism. Amen as well came in and helped, and so that was much better in the second half. Like I said, I think they're up 32-14 at a point on the glass, and we ended up 54-58. So we closed the gap in the second half, and due to our offensive rebounds and defensive rebounds.
Hey, Coach, what gave you the confidence to stick with Amen Thompson in the fourth quarter?
Well, he was playing, quite frankly. I mean, his activity, like I said before the game, he's growing on a nightly basis and gives us a ton of versatility. The other piece is obviously Dylan got his fourth foul, so you want another defender in there with Booker and Durant out there. And so Jabari did a decent job on Durant, and we liked his length and athleticism on Booker. But, he blocked Booker's jump shot, he blocked the Durant jump shot, and he blocked the Bol jump shot. So those are rare for guys to block those guys, and his activity on both ends was great.
When you look at the turnarounds in the first quarter and then again in the second half, how instrumental was he in this?
Amen.
Yes.
Yeah, he's a big piece of it. I think the whole bench unit in general came in and gave us a spark. We didn't obviously start our best again. We had, I think, 6 points at the 6-minute mark, and so, missing some easy shots, but turned the ball over. They got out and got some, got a 16-point lead early. So I think our bench came in and sparked us and, cut the deficit, but also just gave us some much-needed energy, confidence, athleticism. And so Amen was a big piece of that.
For most of the season, when you didn't have Dylan, it would be Tate in those minutes. What gave you the confidence that Amen could play the wing for you?
Well, he pretty much can go 1 through 4 and guard all those positions. So for him, it was a matter of being injured early, not being in the rotation, obviously, for those 20-plus games. And so little by little, the more he's playing, the more confidence he's getting. And that's one thing we always said translated to NBA right away was his defensive versatility, athleticism. And so you're seeing that.
After that second unit came in and gave you all some energy to be able to get back into the game, when the starting unit got back in, I noticed that Fred was pushing the pace a little bit more. Was that something that you all discussed while they were on the bench?
No, we talked about it coming out of All-Star break. For these last 28 games, we want to increase our pace. There were a few benchmarks that we wanted to try to hit, and getting 43s up per game. We got 45 tonight and got 40+ yesterday. Pushing the pace, offensive rebounds, so a few things that we really discussed. And I think our first unit is not the most natural running group. I mean, you got Alpy out there, you got Fred and some guys that don't play at that pace, but I think he's been doing a great job. And even against New Orleans last night, you saw the pace increased.
As much as the priority is just to get the W, is it beneficial to go those last 5 minutes with that kind of team? As an experience?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're all good. Certain ones are more satisfying to dig them out a certain way, especially being down 16. Once you get back up 14, you'd like to keep the lead, obviously, and not make it that close. But, we knew they were going to make a run. They got guys that can score that, at a high level. And so Durant and Booker are going to get it going at some point. And they came out at the start of the fourth quarter and kind of cut the lead. But it's always good for experience to do it that way, but you'd like to be a little more comfortable also.
Once this team had settled down between the second and fourth quarter, is that what you saw when you went back and compared the first 27 games where you liked the competitiveness and how complete this team was playing?
Yeah, I think even throughout the season, even in the second half of the year, when we got in these deficits and these holes, we would fight our way out. You want to try to avoid those, get off to better starts, and tonight was an example of that. But the fight has always been there, the competitiveness and our effort. I think the starts had been much better the first half of the season. So we've seen a little bit of both. Great starts at times, but also us fighting our way back into games, and that's what we did tonight. And credit to the bench, and then starters came in, and some guys woke up there as well.
Jalen didn't get a chance to play a lot of minutes in the fourth quarter. Were you just trying to mix and match some of the lineups?
Yeah, a big part was, like I mentioned, defensively, Amen, and how versatile he is and what he was doing. Dylan being out and them having Booker and Durant. We started the quarter with Aaron to give Fred a break, and they picked on him a little bit there. He got the foul, gave up a 3 with Grayson Allen, and the blow-by missed dunk by Grayson Allen. So we wanted to have size in there in general. And so until we could get Dylan back in, Amen was the best player to do that.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.